Hello everyone, hi. Right, okay, so this is Ya. Hi, this is Ya. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a list of products from the Inkey List that I am loving for my hyperpigmentation. I'm not sure if I'm close enough. Oh, if I get any closer, my head is going to get cut off. So I best sit down. Right, okay, I love talking with my hands and, some action. So sitting down, I feel a bit restricted. But all the same, I'm going to share my my tips and tricks for hyperpigmentation, especially if you've got black skin. I am going to be referring to black skin mostly simply because I've got black skin and I've got hyperpigmentation. I don't have any experience myself having melasma, but based on my own experience with a Fitzpatrick 5 and also hyperpigmentation, I can speak from experience. So hence my references to black skin. I suspect that if these products do work for hyperpigmentation in black skin, then there's a high chance that it would also work for other Fitzpatrick. So 4, 3, 2 and 1 possibly. Right, so if you're watching me, then I suspect that you already have hyperpigmentation, and I suspect that you have done some research into how hyperpigmentation forms. If you do not understand how hyperpigmentation forms, do watch my previous video where I reviewed Cispera, because I do explain a little bit about hyperpigmentation. I just want to make a quick video on the Inkey List products that I am loving using for my own hyperpigmentation, and I find that they do work. You can believe that over the years I have tried a variety of products from well-known brands where I've not seen any results. And even with the Inkey List products, I think that it is for maintenance. It's not necessarily going to completely remove hyperpigmentation. I find that using these products have worked well whilst I'm using the main product, which is Cispera, to reverse my hyperpigmentation. I've discovered something in the last week that has made amazing difference for my hyperpigmentation, which I'm going to share with you specifically in another video. But all it is Licorice Root. I hate pronouncing licorice because to me, I feel like I have to say licorice, but I noticed that everybody else says licorice. So I'm also saying licorice, but I don't feel too comfortable saying licorice. I've discovered Licorice Root makes a massive difference, and I'm going to dedicate a separate video to my experience with licorice, which in under a week has almost removed my hyperpigmentation. If you go back to watch my Cispera review video, you would see that even after 13 weeks or so of using Cispera, I still had a significant amount of my hyperpigmentation showing. But I started chewing Licorice Root just last week, and it's made an amazing difference. So I'm going to dedicate a separate video for covering eating or consuming Licorice Root in an attempt to reverse your own hyperpigmentation. Right, so I'm talking about the Inkey List. If you're not familiar with the Inkey List, I believe that the Inkey List products are available in both the US and the UK. So I suspect that most of my viewers who I know are mostly from US, UK, Nigeria, Ghana, and then some other countries. So I believe that most of you would be familiar or would have come across the Inkey List. So this is how they usually look. They're super tiny bottles. They usually contain about 30 ml. 30 ml is 1 ounce. Yes, 30 ml is 1 ounce. So most of their products come in these tiny bottles, but I find that this list of products is a really good combination that has made a big difference for me with my hyperpigmentation. It is not potent enough. I need to measure. It is not potent enough to completely remove extreme hyperpigmentation. So there are different categories of hyperpigmentation. Some people have temporary hyperpigmentation that would even go away by themselves in a short space of time. Some people have got hyperpigmentation that goes all the way into the dermis, which is the second layer of the skin. Some people have hyperpigmentation very superficially, so it's easy to remove that with simple chemical peels, for instance. And I think if you are on the extreme end, like myself, where you have to inhibit your tyrosinase production and also use excuse me, topical products to maintain your skin. Apologies if I made a sound in your ear, because I just hit my mic, completely forgetting. Right, okay, so my favorite Inkey List products, and it's quite a lot of products, guys. It's not just one or two products. And if you're someone who only use one type of product on your skin, you might struggle to get your head around why anyone has to use so many products. But I think these days the concept of layering is something that everyone is doing, so most people understand having more than just one product that they use. Right, so my favorite, I'm not sure if you can see, let's come closer. Right, okay, so this is the hyaluronic acid. Always love hyaluronic acid. The Q10, which is it's an antioxidant. Retinol, which I don't use every single day. I would explain a little bit more. The vitamin C. Alpha arbutin. I love alpha arbutin in products. And snow mushroom. And what this particular product, the snow mushroom, is meant to do is it's designed for redness. It's designed for people who get really red when they cleanse their skin or when they have professional facials, right? So that's what it's designed for. But because it's designed for to be an anti-inflammatory product, I find that, you know, those of us with darker skin can also use it and actually benefit from it. So these 6 products are my favorite from the Inkey List. So, and the Inkey List products are a budget range. So if you want to get products from the Inkey List and you're not quite sure which products to get, I would definitely recommend this, irrespective of if you've got hyperpigmentation or not. But if you do have hyperpigmentation, then without a doubt, these 6 products are a must-have. How I use these products is, so the alpha arbutin is a serum. The Q10 is gel-like, is a gel. And the snow mushroom is a gel as well. And the hyaluronic acid is a gel. So usually what I do is I would use one of these 3 on a different night. I don't use all 3 on the same night. So if I use Q10 on Monday evening, I would use the snow mushroom on Tuesday, and I would use the hyaluronic acid on Wednesday. There's no real rule about this. The only reason why I don't use them together is that sometimes too much can be too much, right? So I don't like to overdo it with my skin because I already have very sensitive skin, and my skin is also damaged from not looking after it early on. So I've learned these days to slow my roll and, you know, not get too excited with using products simply because they are a good range. So with these water-based products, which are all gels, I would use them on different nights. They do not contain any ingredients that would exfoliate or make your skin sensitive to UV radiation. So you can certainly use them in the daytime as well. So you can use them in the mornings as well. And I do use them in the mornings. Let me correct myself. I don't just use it in the evenings. The only thing I do is that whichever one I use in the morning would be the same product I would use in the evening. So once I'm done cleansing my skin, I always double cleanse. I never do a single cleanse. I never just use a balm or oil cleanser. I always do a balm or oil cleanser first, and then I would use a gel cleanser to make sure that I've thoroughly removed everything from my skin, and then I will use the serum, which is one of these products. I do have to say that every now and then I also do use the ordinary products, and the ordinary products that I use are the hyaluronic acid from the ordinary, the niacinamide, and the retinol oil. Those are the only three products that I use from the ordinary, and I do have the same products from Inkey List as well. I would do a different video concentrating on the ordinary products, and then I would break it down for you to understand why I go for their products. But in a nutshell, I find that the retinol from Inkey List is a lotion, so I use that for my face, whereas the retinol from the ordinary, it's in an oil base, and I love to rub that on my belly because I've got stretch marks on my belly, and I also use it on my chest and my neck, because I noticed sometime last year I was really alarmed one day when I saw that my neck was beginning to look crepey. I had never had to worry about my chest and my neck until last year. I just saw, my skin just didn't look as voluptuous and as youthful as I'm used to. So that did alarm me a little bit, and so I started taking care of my neck and my chest. So I do use the ordinary retinol oil for both my chest, my neck, and actually my belly as well. Right, okay, so that's the only difference between why I choose, I have both the ordinary products and also the Inkey List products. Right, so just to remind you, as soon as I've finished cleansing, the water-based serums would go on first, and it's either the Q10, the snow mushroom, or the hyaluronic acid. Right, so once I have put these water-based products on my skin, I would give it a few seconds to sink in. They all sink in very quickly anyway, so there's no wasting time or hanging around waiting for something to dry before I top it up. Right, now, so vitamin C and retinol, I'm just going to hold it in this hand and separate it from alpha albutane. It's okay to use the alpha albutane every single day, but with vitamin C and retinol, I don't care what anybody else says, especially if you've got black skin or if you've got dark skin. It's not a good idea to use either one of these products every single day. I am an esthetician, I do facials every single day, and I'm constantly having the same conversations with my clients, because these days people can easily go on Amazon and buy retinol and vitamin C, and they use it with no guidance. And what I'm finding is more and more of my clients are beginning to come to me and their skin look incredibly thin from over exfoliating, and these products actually do exfoliate, and some people do not realize this. So some people would use retinol and vitamin C as well as a chemical peel or an AHA. Most people's creams and lotions would have glycolic acid or lactic acid or malic acid in it, for instance. Now if you're combining AHAs with retinol and vitamin C, then you are on a very slippery slope. Incredibly slippery. If you've got sensitive skin like myself, you are doubling your chances of having very sensitive skin and also developing conditions like hyperpigmentation or melasma or some sort of impaired barrier condition. So I love the vitamin C and the retinol from Inkey List, but I do not use them every single night. With vitamin C, I'm happy to use it once a week. Retinol, I think I've used retinol long enough that now these days, well, mind you, I have been using the Cispera for about 18 weeks now. So I've not been using either one of these two for months now. But before I started the Cispera program, I would use this, once every 2 weeks. And this was after a year of using retinol every couple of days, and then extended it to once every week, and I got to once every 2 weeks. So for me personally, and if you were my clients that came to me, and even if you were just starting to use retinol, I would advise people always to use retinol twice a month. You don't need to use any more than that, because what retinol does is it works in a similar fashion as AHAs, where it would exfoliate dead skin cells. And the thing with exfoliating your dead skin cells is you also need to give your skin a chance to go through its turnover process. So if you are using a retinol every single night, you can just about imagine what you're doing to your skin. It causes your skin to actually thin. And I'm noticing in my Caucasian clients at the moment that most people are beginning to have red veins show on the tops of their cheeks and the corners of their noses. And when I interview my clients, I'm finding out that most of them are using things like retinol in combination with vitamin C every single night, or they're using one of the two every single day. So these products are amazing, but they can be also potentially deadly. And if you've got black skin and if you already have hyperpigmentation, then do watch out. Another thing I can advise is if you are using either vitamin C or retinol, I personally would say just directly apply it directly on the area where you've got your hyperpigmentation. There's no real need to spread it all over your face. You can spot treat. I hate spot treating, but you can definitely use retinol and vitamin C on areas where you've got your hyperpigmentation. And also, bear with me guys, also, if you do suffer from comedones, so comedones is what is popularly called whiteheads. If you're someone who easily get whiteheads around your lips or on your nose or on your chin, then retinol is actually amazing for getting rid of comedones, which is whiteheads. So again, you can spot treat with it. I'm not a big fan of putting retinol or vitamin C on my forehead, simply because I mean it's the highest point of my face, and it's the point of my face that gets hit by light and sunlight. So to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of using either of these two products on my forehead. So usually once I've cleansed and I've used the water-based serums, the water-based gels, then I will use one of these two, which is either vitamin C or retinol from Inkey List. What I find is the retinol from Inkey List, it actually gives a bit of tingling. And even though I used it for several months, the tingling never stopped. And I know some people love the sensation of tingling because for them, it gives the impression that the product they're using is working. However, for some people, when a product is tingling, it leads to redness and it can lead to long-term irritation. So might be a good idea to do a patch test where you put a little bit of either retinol or vitamin C on your forearm, maybe 24 hours before you come to use it. Familiarize yourself with how it feels on your skin before you go ahead and spread it all over your face. Right, so when I use either one of these two, so alpha-albutane, I find you can use it in the morning or in the evening. So what I do is that I would use alpha-albutane in the mornings. If I use either vitamin C or retinol, because I interchange, I wouldn't necessarily use alpha-albutane with it. And when I use these products, I then follow it with a cream or a lotion. And as I'm a professional, and as you can see, I have so many products that I can use on my skin. I mostly would use dermalogical products, but with regards to which cream or lotion that I would use, I just interchange. It all depends on how my skin feels and if I feel like I've got a spot developing, excuse me, or if I feel my skin is a bit oily or dehydrated. So I don't have a specific face cream that I would use from Dermalogica, but I always would follow, once I've used this in the evening or use the alpha-albutane in the morning, I would always follow it with a Dermalogica product. One Dermalogica product that I recommend for any skin type is what is called the Dermalogica Barrier Skin. How can I forget? I've been using it all day. Where are we? Barrier Repair, sorry. Right, so Barrier Repair, I'll show you what it looks like. So that is the Dermalogica Barrier Repair. And it's got a very nice texture. I've not cleansed my skin yet, otherwise I would have used it so you see how it looks like. I'm happy to do a video on it if you want me to explain what it is, what it does, why I recommend it for sensitive skin, etc, etc. Right, okay, so this is my list of Inkey List products that I love. And I love these products because I find that they work very well for maintaining your hyperpigmentation. And one last thing, if you're using either the Inkey List product or any other kind of product, irrespective of how dark or how light your skin is, always remember to wear sunscreen. It's very important because if you've got hyperpigmentation and you're trying to reverse the hyperpigmentation and you're not using sunscreen, then what you're doing is just really not going to work very well, I have to say. So it's always important to use sunscreen on top of whatever skincare routine that you have. I hope you've learned something from me with regards to using the Inkey List products. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have if you leave them in the comment section. And if you want me to review or talk about any product, feel free to let me know. I'm done with this video. I'm going to turn it off, have a glass of water, and then I will talk to you about licorice and how amazing I think licorice is if you've got hyperpigmentation. Alright guys, thank you for joining me, and I would do another video to cover something, and that will be our way of meeting again. Bye! Oh, this always happens at the end of every live.